A man photographs a creature on an English moor. A family finds two 10-foot-tall beings in their backyard. A doorbell camera records a blue-gray figure in Compton.
Is that an alien caught on her surveillance camera? It sure looks like one.
A hunter's trail cam captures a bulbous-headed figure running through Montana. These are real videos captured by ordinary people, showing beings that defy all known categories of life. Welcome to Mysterious Beings Not from Earth, Caught on Camera. The question is not whether the footage is authentic. The question is whether you are ready to believe. Number 15. The Skinny Bob footage. In early 2011, a YouTube channel called Ivan0135 uploaded footage of a gray humanoid figure with a large head and dark soul-piercing eyes. In the footage, a creature, later named Skinny Bob, was wearing a tight-fitting suit, and a distinct crease was visible on his chest. At the top of the frame, a notable device was visible, a stadiometer for measuring human height. In other words, Bob was recorded as if in an ordinary examination room. Interestingly, the stadiometer model did not perfectly match any known vintage design. Either it was a custom-made version, or those who prepared this scene had a different device on hand. In later scenes, Bob was shown seated. From a side profile, he turned his head, even acting as if he was focusing on something. At the edge of the frame, what appeared to be a human arm and part of a jacket were visible. This suggested Bob was not alone in the room. According to the claims, in the uncropped version of the scene, Bob was sitting at a table studying star maps. Seated across from him were officials in period uniforms. When experts examined the video, they detected frame skips, small shakes, and the natural jitter characteristic of a low frame rate. This was the behavior of a real analog camera. Bob's eyelids closed by moving from both the top and the bottom. This detail was very important because, similar to the human eye, they refracted light and covered the eyeball. It would have been completely impossible to achieve such a natural play of light in a puppet or a simple mask mechanism. The videos, collectively known as the Skinny Bob footage, quickly became infamous in UFO and alien forums. For believers, this was the holy grail of UFO evidence. For skeptics, it was too good to be true. But here is where things get genuinely strange. No one has ever been able to confirm where the videos came from or who actually made them. Some analysts have pointed out that the creature's family, shown in one clip, wears what appears to be 1940s or 50s style clothing, adding to the mystery of its origin. Who was Ivan0135? And why did he upload such extraordinary footage and vanish? Those questions may never be answered. The footage he left behind is not the only evidence of strange, thin-limbed beings walking through the night. Number 14. Ilkley Moor photograph. A retired police officer named Philip Spencer went out for a morning walk across Ilkley Moor in West Yorkshire, England, never expecting to encounter something that would haunt him for the rest of his life. As Spencer crossed the open moorland, he noticed something ahead on the trail. At first, it looked like a small figure standing in the distance, perhaps a child or a hiker. But as he drew closer, he saw a figure that was about 4 feet tall, dark green in color, with an oversized head and long, thin arms that hung awkwardly at its sides. The creature lifted its arm in a gesture that Spencer should have taken as a warning. Instead, he raised his camera and took a single photograph. Spencer said the creature then ran off and he chased after it. He claimed that as he lost sight of the figure, he suddenly saw a craft rise from the moor. It was whitish, made of 2 saucer-like sections joined together, one stacked on top of the other. He reported a loud humming sound as it lifted into the sky and disappeared. After the encounter, Spencer realized something was wrong. He had walked in a different direction than he had planned and had somehow lost about 2 hours. Even his compass, which he had brought specifically for navigation, was pointing the wrong way. Not long after, he reached out to UFO researchers Jenny Randles and Peter Hof, and the photograph started circulating among experts. A wildlife photographer who examined the image said it didn't match any known animal. Even Kodak lab staff reportedly found no evidence of tampering or superimposition. At the same time, other experts, such as U.S. Navy optics specialist Bruce Maccabee, said the image was just too grainy to draw any firm conclusions. Then the case took an even stranger turn in 1988, when Spencer agreed to undergo regressive hypnotherapy. Under hypnosis, his account changed dramatically. Instead of simply seeing the creature, he now described being paralyzed, lifted, and taken into a craft where a voice told him to stay calm. Inside, he claimed he saw green beings performing medical procedures, including inserting objects into his nose and mouth. After these supposed memories flooded back, he reinterpreted the whole encounter. Maybe the creature hadn't been warning him to stay back, but rather waving goodbye to him after he was returned to the moor. A single photograph is one thing. But what about moving images? What about video footage so detailed it would make even the most hardened skeptic pause? Number 13. The Compton Ring Camera Alien. On June 5th, 2025, a woman named Jessica Ortiz in Compton, California, woke up to a notification that her Ring doorbell camera had detected motion at approximately 1 o'clock in the morning. She played the 11-second clip, and what she saw was a 3 to 4 foot tall blue-gray creature with an elongated head, a tiny neck that appeared to emerge from its chest rather than its shoulders, and a protruding backbone that gave it a hunched, almost reptilian posture. The creature walks hunched forward through the backyard, its movement slow and deliberate until it reaches a gate, pushes it open, and exits the frame. Jessica Ortiz said none of her other motion-activated cameras captured the creature that night, which was strange because multiple cameras cover her property, and they usually all trigger when something moves through the yard. Her aunt, who lives next door, reported hearing banging, scratching, and crawling noises on her roof about 30 minutes before the creature was spotted. The video quickly went viral on social media. Some viewers insisted it was a child in a costume. Others suggested it was a person in a blanket or a homeless individual looking for shelter. But these explanations did not hold up, judging by the consistent movement and proportions. Jessica Ortiz insisted the video was not staged, as she had no reason to fabricate such a bizarre clip, and was genuinely frightened. The fact that it was only captured by one camera is also puzzling. If it were a person in a costume, why did the other cameras fail to detect it? As of now, the footage is among the most recent and unsettling pieces of alleged alien evidence on the internet. The Compton creature was small and quick, but the next figure was anything but. What was it doing on a dark road in the middle of the night? Number 12. The Balsas Highway Creature. On September 20, 2024, a group of travelers was driving at night on the remote Balsas Neva Road in Colombia when they encountered something that would make them question their sanity. One of the passengers pulled out a cell phone and began recording the road ahead. As the camera panned across, a humanoid figure stood near the edge, moving in a way that felt very wrong. The figure appears to walk with its arms positioned inside its legs. Its locomotion is unnatural, almost insect-like, as if it is attempting to move like a human but has never quite learned how. Colombia Oscura shared the video, and many people had something to say. Some suggested the figure could be a person contorting themselves to create a viral video. Others argued that poor quality made identification impossible. But there are aspects difficult to dismiss. The location is remote, making it unlikely someone would be there in the middle of the night just to stage a prank. The travelers who filmed it have never come forward to claim credit for a hoax. They simply uploaded the video and stopped posting. The location of the sighting adds to the mystery. The Huila department sits in southwestern Colombia, nestled between the central and eastern Cordilleras of the Andes. The region is rugged, remote, and steeped in folklore stretching back centuries. Local legends speak of creatures like La Muelona and the Sombreron. Until someone can explain the figure's bizarre movement patterns or prove the footage was staged, it will continue to haunt those who watch it. Colombia's mountains have long been a place of mystery. But the next sighting takes us to the American West, where a hunter's trail camera captured something even more unsettling. Number 11. Montana. Naked alien hunting camera. Redgate, Montana is a small rural community that UFO enthusiasts have long believed is a beacon for paranormal and extraterrestrial activity. In 2022, a hunter named Donald Bromley set up a trail camera on his property to capture wildlife. What the camera captured was anything but wildlife. Instead, the camera captured an image of a naked figure with a large, bulbous head running through the field. Apart from the obviously wrong proportions, it was running with a strange gait, as if it were trying to cover ground quickly but was not used to moving on two legs. Bromley was baffled. Having seen countless images of deer, elk, bears, and coyotes, he knew he was looking at no normal wildlife. He showed the image to his friends, and none of them could explain what they were looking at. The image eventually went viral online. Viewers were divided. Some insisted it was an alien from another world captured on a hunter's trail camera. Others suggested a person in a costume, or pareidolia, the tendency to see familiar shapes and random patterns. But no one could offer a convincing explanation for the figure's bizarre anatomy or its presence in a remote Montana field. Skeptics have pointed out that trail cameras can sometimes produce distorted images. Low light, motion blur, and camera artifacts can make ordinary objects look strange. But the image of the Montana figure is quite clear. While the Montana figure was running alone on the ground, something far more elaborate was hovering over the sea near Istanbul. Number 10. The Turkey UFO footage. In 2008, a night watchman named Yalçın Yalman began filming a strange object in the night sky over the sea near Kumburgaz, a small town on the coast of Istanbul. Over the course of several weeks, he captured more than 2 hours of footage of a glowing, metallic craft hovering over the water. The footage was far clearer than most UFO videos, and it quickly attracted the attention of researchers and skeptics around the world. But it was what Yalman captured when he zoomed in that truly stunned viewers. Inside the craft's translucent window, two humanoid silhouettes were visible. They appeared to be moving around inside the object, their shapes distinct and unmistakable against the glowing interior. The footage showed the craft hovering, tilting, and eventually moving away. The case was so compelling that TÜBİTAK, Turkey's Scientific and Technological Research Council, agreed to analyze the footage. Their official conclusion was that the object could not be identified and that it was a UFO. The case has never been debunked. Yalman has maintained his story for more than a decade, and more witnesses have reported seeing the same object on the same nights. From the skies above Turkey, we now descend to the dark forests of Oregon. What one man found there would change his life forever. Number 9. Oregon night vision footage. In 2011, a man living in an isolated home in rural Oregon uploaded a chilling video to YouTube. He claimed that he had been hearing strange noises coming from the forest behind his property for several nights. Though hearing things moving around at night wasn't unusual, as he lived some miles away from the city, something about the sound made his skin crawl. Determined to find out what was making the noise, he grabbed a night vision camera and ventured into the darkness. Crouched low in the vegetation is a pale, hairless-looking figure with long limbs and an oddly shaped head. Just as the man zoomed in for a better look, the figure reacted, moving with an almost mechanical quality, as if it were aware of being watched but unafraid. Then, it does something that makes the man retreat, ending the footage. If you thought the Oregon footage was unsettling, wait until you see what was captured on a security camera in Kentucky. The footage is brief, but the figure's appearance will haunt you. Number 8. The Kentucky ghostly pale figure. In 2022, a 33-second CCTV clip from a residence in Moorhead, Kentucky, began circulating online. The footage shows a figure, emaciated, ghostly pale, and hunched, leaning over close to a house's backyard, with its long limbs hanging awkwardly at its sides. The figure's appearance is strikingly similar to that of other alleged alien beings captured on camera. It is tall and thin, with pale skin and a head that appears slightly oversized for its body. Its movements are slow and cautious, as if it is unfamiliar with its surroundings. It does not appear to be wearing clothing or carrying anything. The location of the footage has also raised questions. Moorhead, Kentucky, is not exactly a UFO hotspot. There is nothing that would explain why an alien would choose to appear in a residential backyard in the middle of nowhere. Analysts have examined the footage for signs of digital manipulation. No evidence of CGI has been found. The video appears to be authentic CCTV footage, captured by a standard security camera. The figure's movements are consistent with real motion rather than animation. Whatever it was there. While the Kentucky figure was pale and hunched, The next creatures captured on camera were unlike anything else ever recorded. Two tall, white, walking stick-like figures with no arms were spotted in Fresno, California. Number 7. Fresno Nightcrawlers. On October 5, 2007, a man in Fresno, California set up a security camera outside his home. He had been having problems with coyotes attacking livestock on his property, and he wanted to capture evidence of the animals moving through the area at night. When he reviewed the footage the next morning, he found himself staring at two tall, white, walking stick-like figures with long legs and no arms. They were moving across his lawn in the dead of night, their gait slow and unnatural, their heads tiny and bulbous. The entire clip lasts less than a minute, but it has haunted viewers for decades. The Fresno Nightcrawlers, as they came to be known, quickly became an internet sensation. The footage was analyzed, debated, and dissected by amateur investigators and professional researchers alike. SIFI's television show, Fact or Faked, took on the case and tried to replicate the footage using puppets and actors. They were unable to match the creature's unnatural gait or their bizarre proportions. But is the footage real? The History Channel's experts concluded that the video was a hoax. To demonstrate how it could be faked, a YouTuber named Captain Disillusion filmed himself walking down an alleyway and then removed the top half of his body in post-production. But paranormal investigator Victor Camacho, who analyzed the original surveillance footage shortly after it was captured, remains unconvinced by the hoax theories. Some theories suggest the Nightcrawlers are extraterrestrial beings. This is bolstered by the fact that both Fresno and Yosemite have been hotspots for UFO sightings. Others believe they are interdimensional entities, spirits, or simply misidentified animals. But what if the beings are not walking on the ground at all? What if they are emerging from beneath the waves? Number 6. The U.S. Navy. Transmedium UFO. In February 2023, the crew of the USS Jackson, a U.S. Navy combat ship operating off the coast of Southern California, witnessed something that defied everything they knew about aviation, physics, and the limits of human technology. Personnel in the ship's Combat Information Center detected 4 unknown targets on radar. When they trained their high-powered Sapphire Flyer thermal targeting system on the area, they captured footage that would later shake the foundations of the UFO community. The footage, released publicly in April 2025 after a multi-year verification process, shows a heat signature in the shape of a smooth, oblong object, a perfect tic-tac. But what makes this footage truly extraordinary is what it shows the object doing. The craft was seen rising directly from the Pacific Ocean, emerging from beneath the waves and transitioning seamlessly into flight. This is known as transmedium travel, the ability to move effortlessly through space, air, and water. The footage was recorded using a weapons-grade military camera system, the kind of equipment that leaves no room for optical illusions or pareidolia. And crucially, the object lacks any thermal exhaust or propulsion trails that experts would expect from conventional aircraft. An active-duty U.S. Navy Combat Information Center operator, who was present during the encounter, came forward to describe what he witnessed. He tracked the object using the ship's FLIR system and watched as all 4 UAPs performed an instantaneous, synchronized maneuver, shooting off simultaneously without visible propulsion. The 2023 incident is not an isolated event. It echoes 2 other major military encounters: the 2004 Nimitz sighting, in which U.S. Navy pilots encountered a tic-tac-shaped object off the coast of Mexico, and a well-documented 2019 event, in which a swarm of UAPs surrounded 10 Navy warships over multiple nights. These incidents have led some, including the sailors themselves, to speculate that there may be an underwater base or installation off the California coast. The U.S. Navy has confirmed the authenticity of the footage, but the objects remain unidentified. If this footage is genuine, and all evidence suggests it is, then humanity is not alone. And whatever is out there, it has been watching us from beneath the waves for decades. From the depths of the Pacific, we now go to Las Vegas, where a family called 911 after 2 10-foot-tall creatures appeared in their backyard. But what they saw may not be what it seems. Number 5. Las Vegas aliens in the backyard. On April 30th, 2023, a Las Vegas family called 911 to report something that would make headlines around the world. A suspected UFO had crashed in their neighborhood, and now two 10-foot-tall, skinny alien creatures with gray-green skin, weird-looking feet, and big faces and eyes were lurking in their backyard. On the emergency call, the family could be heard whispering, trying to stay calm. They reported that the beings had walked through their yard and were now hiding behind a truck in the driveway. Police responded quickly, conducting a thorough investigation of the property. But when they arrived, there was no sign of the aliens. However, the family's story was backed up by something remarkable. Body cam footage from one of the responding police officers showed a mysterious object soaring across the night sky at approximately 11:50 p.m. on April 30th. The object was moving at high speed, descending rapidly, and appeared to be on a collision course with the ground. The officer can be heard reacting to the object in the footage. The case quickly became a media sensation, with some viewers claiming to see two alien figures standing in the yard. However, this specific footage was later determined to be a hoax. The alien figures had been added using CGI, and the footage had been intercut with genuine police audio to make it appear authentic. Despite the hoaxed footage, the underlying case remains partially unresolved. Why was the family genuinely terrified? From the deserts of Nevada, we now travel to the waters of Puerto Rico. A group of fishermen saw something that still haunts them. Number 4. The Puerto Rico Alien Mermaid. On June 19th, 2023, a group of fishermen off the coast of Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, captured footage that would ignite a firestorm of speculation across the internet. The seawater around their boat began glowing in ethereal hues of blue and green. Bioluminescence, a natural phenomenon caused by a chemical reaction within living organisms. But what emerged from that glowing patch of sea was anything but natural. As the fishermen zoomed closer to investigate, a slender, elongated shadow moved through the water. The shape was distinctly humanoid, a figure that appeared to be walking underwater. The figure catches the light reflection before it bobs up and down in the sea. For a brief, fleeting moment, it breaches the surface. Viewers who analyzed the footage frame by frame noticed chilling details. Some pointed out what appeared to be glowing eyes when the figure turned. Others observed a tan or gray mist anomaly that seemed to follow the humanoid throughout the video. Theories exploded across social media. Some insisted it was a mermaid or a siren, mythical beings said to inhabit the oceans and lure sailors to their doom. Others argued it was an alien, a being from another world that had somehow found its way into Earth's waters. An alien mermaid. The term USO, unidentified submerged object, was also thrown around, adding an underwater element to the usual UFO phenomenon. Skeptics, however, offered more grounded explanations. The humanoid shape, they argued, could be an optical illusion created by the interplay of light and water. The figure's walking motion could have been the result of the boat's movement relative to the object in the water. But the skeptics' explanations did not satisfy everyone. The figure moved with purpose, not like debris or a school of fish. It appeared to be aware of the fishermen, turning at one point as if to acknowledge their presence, and the glowing eyes remained unexplained. From the waters of Puerto Rico, we moved to the fields of Texas, where a trail camera captured something that made a hunter do a double take, but the answer may be more down to earth than you think. Number 3, Texas trail camera photo. Michael Dumas. DeMel has been running trail cameras on his property in rural Fayette County, Texas, for more than a decade. He has captured thousands of images of wildlife over the years. But one night, a photo came through that made him do a double take. The image is blurry, as trail camera photos often are, but there is something definitely crouching in the frame. It is about the size of a medium dog. It is super spindly, with long, thin limbs that seem almost skeletal. It does not appear to have fur. Instead, its skin looks pale and smooth, and it is crouched low to the ground, as if it is stalking something or hiding from the camera. First, DeMel showed the image to his friends. Some suggested it was a chupacabra, the legendary creature of Latin American folklore. Others said alien or skinwalker. However, the wildlife experts who examined the image were less imaginative. They concluded that the creature was almost certainly a severely mangy coyote or a dog with a severe skin infection. Mange is a parasitic skin disease that causes animals to lose their fur, leaving them with pale, patchy skin. The loss of fur also makes animals appear thinner and more spindly, which could explain the creature's unsettling appearance. Mange is common in wild canids, particularly in areas with high coyote or fox populations. A mangy coyote can look genuinely alien with its hairless body, protruding bones, and strange, jerky movements. The condition is debilitating and often fatal, which would explain why the creature was crouching low to the ground. It was likely sick and weak. Demel accepted this explanation, but he remains curious. The image was unlike anything he had seen on his cameras before, and it serves as a reminder that even the most mundane explanations can be surprising. The Texas Trail camera photo is a classic example of how easily ordinary things can be mistaken for the extraordinary. In Mexico, a security camera captured a small creature scurrying across a road. Could it be a creature from folklore? Number 2. Mexican Goblin Security Camera. In January 2024, a security camera at a farm in Monterrey, Mexico, captured footage that would quickly go viral. The video shows a small bipedal creature scurrying across a road in the dead of night. The creature is compact and quick, moving with a speed that suggests it is either frightened or trying to avoid detection. When the footage made its way to social media, speculation ran rampant. Some viewers suggested it could be a duende, a creature from Mexican folklore known for mischief and malevolence. Others argued it was an alien, a being from another world that had somehow found its way to a farm in Monterrey. The video generated thousands of comments and shares, with viewers divided between those who believed it was genuine and those who thought it was a hoax. But what exactly is a duende? In Mexican folklore, duendes are magical little creatures, similar to tiny elves or goblins with a great sense of mischief. They are said to stand no taller than a soda can, with pointy ears and sometimes even little hats. People claim they live in forests, under bridges, or even sneak into houses to play tricks. These tiny tricksters can be both good and bad. Sometimes, if you are nice to them, they might help out by cleaning your room or finding something you have lost. But if you make them mad, watch out. They could hide keys or make noises to scare one at night. Interestingly enough, duendes, like other elves, are reported to braid or knot horseshoes. The Museum of the Goblins, or Museo de los Duendes, in San Miguel Regla, has an interesting collection of duende-related drawings, sculptures, and photographs, along with clippings of braids from horseshoes, supposedly made by the duendes. But the most likely explanation is far less exciting. Wildlife experts who examined the footage concluded that the creature was almost certainly a small animal, captured at an odd angle in low light. Monkeys, large rodents, and even dogs can appear strangely humanoid when filmed from a distance in poor conditions. The creature's scurrying movement is consistent with the behavior of a frightened animal trying to escape a predator or a human. The farm owner confirmed that the footage was authentic and that his security cameras had previously captured similar images of animals. He did not claim the creature was supernatural or extraterrestrial. He simply shared the footage because it was unusual. Finally, we end with a story from Canada. A security camera captured something beautiful, eerie, and utterly baffling. But the explanation might be simpler than you think. Number 1. Canadian Ferry Security Camera. In 2025, a homeowner in Esquimalt, British Columbia, named Steve McBaith, installed a security camera outside his home to monitor the area for potential threats. He also wanted to keep an eye on the wildlife that frequently passed through his property, and over the months, he had seen many of them. But one night, he received a notification that his camera had detected a person. When he reviewed the footage, he found something far stranger than a person. The video shows a bright, shimmering, humanoid-shaped object with what appears to be glowing wings flying directly at the camera. The object is luminous, almost metallic in appearance, and it seems to be approaching the camera with purpose before veering away at the last moment. McBeath was baffled. First, neither human nor animal would glow or be that small, so he shared the footage online in case anyone had seen something like that before. Nobody had, but many people were enchanted immediately, calling what he said a fairy. McBeath himself acknowledged the most mundane explanation. Insects flying close to a camera lens can create optical illusions, appearing larger and brighter than they actually are. The insect's wings, combined with the camera's infrared lights, can create a shimmering effect that resembles a humanoid figure. The insect's flight path can also appear deliberate and purposeful when viewed through the lens of a fixed camera. This explanation is almost certainly correct. Security cameras frequently capture images of insects that look strange and otherworldly. The combination of proximity, movement, and infrared lighting can produce bizarre visual artifacts. But there is something about the footage that is undeniably eerie. The figure's shimmering appearance, its glowing wings, and its purposeful flight path combine to create an image that looks like something from a fantasy novel. And perhaps that is the real mystery, how easily our own eyes can fool us. After all, if an insect can look like a fairy, what else might we be misinterpreting in the darkness? Thanks for watching. Now, check out the videos popping up on screen for more unbelievable stories.